enough time to study yet. The Flying Dutchman boards the Staten Island Ferry. Playing one act by Larry Rinkel. We have the Dutchman, a ghost of indeterminate age, condemned to travel the seas for eternity until he can find a spouse whose faithfulness will let him rest in peace. Xander, 23, opera-loving Columbia grad in theater, and Eric, also 23, his more laid-back boyfriend. The setting is the Staten Island Ferry main deck. The time, a weeknight on the 11:30 boat traveling from Whitehall to St. George, about an hour following the performance at the Met of Wagner's The Flying Dutchman. Synopsis here. Xander and his boyfriend Eric are traveling home on the Staten Island Ferry following a performance of The Flying Dutchman at the Met. Realizing the two have nothing in common, Eric breaks up with Xander, who is confronted by the ghost of the Dutchman himself. Condemned to travel the seas until he can find a savior, willing to lift him from the curse, the Dutchman persuades Xander to sacrifice his own life. Seeing Xander ready to jump overboard, Eric talks him down. The boyfriends reconcile, and the Dutchman finds eternal rest as the curse is lifted. And I just go right to the rise, late fall or winter, a dark and stormy night. So we hear the opening 30 seconds of the overture to Wagner's Flying Dutchman. Xander and Eric run on board the main deck of the ferry, trying to stay dry. Sounds of rain and random bursts of thunder and lightning would be suitable, subsiding as the play proceeds.
Come on, Xander, it's pouring.
You didn't think we'd make this one with all signal problems like Christopher. No one else here either.
Because all the smart people stayed home. We had to go to the opera on a work night.
I work too, Eric. You can do Saturday matinee, so I got this one. They don't give you a weather report when you buy the tickets.
Fine, whatever. But those tickets must have cost.
You bought dinner.
2 $10 sandwiches from the deli plus Cokes and a couple of apples. You did too much for me, Xander.
Oh, never too much. Oh, but you enjoyed it. 2.5 hours of pure bliss.
Maybe for you.
Oh, some Wagner operas are 3 times as long.
When you said The Flying Dutchman, I was thinking like the Jethro Tull song or that Carson the Pirates of the Caribbean. 7, 8 minutes.
Oh, no worse than a movie.
At least with a movie, you can pee, buy some popcorn, a Coke. You got to sit on your hands in those red velvet chairs. You can't use your cell because it's going to light up and bother somebody, plus everybody's dressed in outfits. I couldn't afford it in 6 months. And they give you a dirty look, even if you shift in your seat.
Oh, never mind the people. Oh, but the music. Wasn't it magnificent?
Yeah, a bunch of fat people waving their arms and screaming at the top of their lungs in a language I can't understand.
Well, that's why they've got the translation on those little screens so you can follow the story.
I read the story in the program. I'm not stupid.
I never said that.
Xander, the story makes 0 sense.
It's not supposed to. It's opera.
Okay, first says this Flying Dutchman who got this curse on him. What does he have a curse on him anyway?
I don't know. You're looking for logic.
And he's sailing all over the ocean looking for some woman who'll be faithful to him. And guess what? Just by coincidence, there's this total nutjob
Santa.
who spends all her time fantasizing of how she's going to save this swimming,
Flying.
this rollerblading Belgian who just happens to be passing through the neighborhood.
It's fate. It's love.
Right, so she dumps her boyfriend Eric, cool name by the way, who's the only normal person in the whole opera.
Which is why he's all wrong for her.
Then at the end she throws herself in the Atlantic so she can free this guy from the curse. How stupid is that?
Oh, don't you think it's a beautiful idea to save a soul who's in pain?
You're getting weird, Xander.
Oh, it's just a fantasy. Don't you ever have fantasies?
Yeah, Star Wars fantasies like when I was a kid and I'd save the whole galaxies with my lightsaber. Normal fantasies.
Well, I think it's kind of sweet. And I wanted to do something special for your birthday.
Okay, that was really nice, but you didn't have to. We could stay home, order a pizza, some beers, pop in a few episodes of Game of Thrones, you know, watch some people getting their heads chopped off or their throats slashed. Or we could have gone, or if we have to go to this city, maybe a garden for a game.
We could go to a game.
You wouldn't like it.
Oh, why don't you try me? I want to like what you like too.
Xander, we've gone at it like 4 or 5 times. I mean, I like you, I really do, but you're the fancy Columbia theater major, and I'm just this ordinary Italian kid from Newdorp.
I can teach you.
I don't want to be taught, Xander. I mean, compared to you, I'm just this sloppy jock with no money, wants to have a little fun and not get so romantic and serious all the time.
So, why'd you ever go out?
Because you were sweet and cute, and when I was serving you, you didn't hit on me. That doesn't happen too often. Instead, you just drew these funny faces on your charge slips and put in your phone number. Plus, you tip good.
I always slip the hostess $2 so I get one of your tables.
She knew, so I took a chance.
I thought it was going well.
Look, Xander, I was flattered you asked me out. I mean, here's this hot, good-looking guy who maybe saw something in me more than I see in myself.
That sounds good.
So first, last summer, we went to the beach, and I liked that. But then the museum, and then this Japanese film, that was so slow and boring, I wanted to gouge my eyes out.
Tokyo Story, one of the greatest.
And tickets to the ballet must have cost you a fortune.
Not that much.
It's like you're trying to impress me spending all this money.
I'm not trying to buy you, if that's what you're implying. Okay, maybe a little.
You're not a boyfriend, Xander. You're a tour guide. Look, Xander, I don't think this is going to work out. I think I'm going to the lower deck for the rest of the trip.
I'll go with you.
No, Xander, I have to be by myself.
As Eric departs,
Be careful, those desks are slippery. Hey, I got us tickets for Lower Web next week. Saturday matinee.
the weather is settling down a bit. Music, the love theme from Dutchman Overture. And from the shadows, face shrouded at first,
That didn't go too well, did it?
Who are you? Did you hear us? Everything?
Of course. Every word.
Well, maybe you shouldn't eavesdrop on people's conversations.
Sound carries. So, Xander, you care a lot about this Eric, don't you?
I adore Eric.
There's not much in common.
Oh, I thought there was. Not that it's none of your business. Isn't love enough?
Only in opera. And in opera, most lovers die off at the end anyway. The few with happy endings. Turandot, Marriage of Figaro. You don't see all the fights once the curtain comes down about who takes out the garbage or changes the kids' diapers.
You know a lot about opera. Who are you?
the Dutchman finally emerges.
Oh my God. You live on Staten Island too?
No. Passed by a few times. Mainly I travel the 7 seas, with a break every 7 years for me to find the faithful companion who'll release me from my curse.
How'd you get on the ferry? We didn't see anybody.
My crew bound my ship to yours with grappling hooks, just like in the opera.
I don't see any ship.
Weightless, invisible, except me to you.
But this makes no sense. Opera's over. You jump into the sea with Zenta on your arms, the curse is lifted. Curtain call, standing ovation, audience finalists get to pee, and then they all go home. Brooklyn, Jersey, yeah, whatever.
Didn't work out with Santa. Your buddy was right. Total nutcase. So I took her back to her father. She married her Eric. And since then I've been sailing another 200 years looking for someone else.
I know, it's hard to find people, especially in New York. Everybody's so fake.
Aren't everywhere. There was Asuncion from Singapore in 1915. Purnima from Mumbai, 1979. Both got cold feet. It's always the same. I'd really love to help. I tell them life's not all it's cracked up to be, but they never buy it.
And you've been doing this every 7 years, for how long?
Can't remember at this point. I'm at least 500 years old. Maybe there's some dementia.
So, what do you do with yourself?
Read, work out, crossword puzzles, surf the net. No one to talk to, very bored. Okay, so maybe the earth is 70% water, but once you've seen one ocean, you've seen them all.
Oh, that's so sad. They say loneliness is one of the biggest health problems for the elderly. Honestly, I wish I could help it, other than chatting on the train.
Actually, you can help. You know the story.
After a long pause,
Whoa. I'm sorry, but I don't think so.
What happened to a beautiful idea to save a soul who's in pain?
Oh, that was just an expression. Besides, you're supposed to find a wife, not a gay theater major.
Gender roles are becoming more fluid.
I really can't. I gotta go to work tomorrow.
Call in sick.
What if I just give you a kiss and you turn into a handsome prince?
Wrong story.
Look, I'm sure you're a nice guy, but to be honest, you're really not my type. There's a big age difference. You need a haircut, your breath stinks.
You traveled the 7 seas 400 years when you can't shower or shave or even brush your teeth. At 23 hours, pretty hot too.
I mean, I should sacrifice my life for some operatic character I don't even know?
Basically.
Jump off the ferry into New York Bay?
Do I have to spell everything out for you?
So, what's in it for me?
You millennials. So typical. Always me, me, me. Never thinking about anybody else. Just the satisfaction of performing a good deed. So, as you're falling off the ferry, 10 minutes from now, to a cold, dark, watery death, just imagine the momentary beam of glory on your face, knowing you've redeemed a tormented soul.
Oh, I think I'm a pretty generous person. I give to charity even though I can't itemize. I even gave a buck most of the time to the guys on the subway. But you're asking for a lot. I know you got it rough, but I really don't want to turn you down.
Well, then, I'll have no choice but to travel the seas another 7 years until I can try again.
Oh, but honestly, after all this time, it doesn't sound like a bad deal. You have job security forever. I have my life. Win-win for both.
You know, for someone who goes to the Met a dozen times a year and practically lives for Wagner and Puccini, the shallowness of your reasoning totally escapes me. Xander, all I'm asking is for you to take your rightful part in my opera, so I can wrap up the third act, ring down the great gold curtain, and stop sailing this lousy ocean.
But this isn't an opera anymore. It's reality.
What's the difference?
I want to be with Eric.
He doesn't want to be with you.
I don't believe that. What about my third act?
Xander, you're weird. Xander, you went to Columbia. Xander, you eat escargot.
Once.
Well, you and me, Xander, we come from the same world. Romance, fantasy, the fountain outside Lincoln Center, the 5 great arches at the Met, the red carpeted staircase, the snooty ushers, the $10 Cokes at the bar, which are mainly ice, and the crystal chandeliers rising up to the gold-plated ceiling to dim the house lights.
How do you know this?
Just been on stage 2.5 hours.
But you're a ghost.
Ghost, zombie, spirit, vampire, poltergeist, alive, dead, all these labels. Who of us is truly alive? Who is dead?
I'm sorry.
You and your patronizing sorries. You, with maybe 80 years to live, no idea what my life is like, especially since I'm not alive, condemned for eternity to travel the seas because of one little slip, blown totally out of proportion. Nobody gives a damn. Nobody has the decency to say, enough already. Somebody give the poor schmuck a break.
Wait, can I ask something? One thing I never understood about the story.
Xander, you're not supposed to understand the story. It's opera.
I know that, but what was this curse all about?
the Dutchman beckons Xander, then whispers in his ear.
Everybody does that.
I got caught.
Oh man, this is so unfair. I'm really sorry. Can I give you a hug?
You can try, but I warn you, I'm incorporeal.
Oh, I don't care. But please, whatever happens, don't give up on your dream. There's somebody for everyone. It may take you another 600,000 years.
Eric appears as Xander tries to hug the Dutchman.
What the?
What the?
Eric?
Unbelievable. Here I thought you were Mr. Faithful, and now I turn my back for 5 minutes, and you're already with somebody else.
You dumped me, Eric.
Doesn't mean you pick up another guy 2 minutes later, especially old enough to be your great-grandfather.
I like older men.
No, that's all right. I get it. Look at me. Ancient, ugly, unkempt. I smell. I'm a ghost. But I'm still a human being.
And he's still my ex.
It's not what it looks like, Eric. This is the Flying Dutchman.
Oh, geez, 2.5 hours was enough.
Eric, I love you.
Yeah, that's why you're all over the flying grandpa here. Xander, when we dock at St. George, don't drive me, I'll get a cab. Then no more calls, no email, no text, and as soon as I get home, I'm gonna delete all your messages and unfriend you on Facebook.
Sounds extreme.
Stay out of this. What about our selfies from Cedar Grove Beach?
I'll save 2.
But I took 87.
To Dutchman after Eric is gone.
All right,
All right, what?
I'll do it.
You will? That's the spirit. Sorry, bad pun.
I mean, I might as well. Oh, what do I have to live for? Eric's left me. I'll never find anyone like him.
I'm in the same boat. Sorry.
Can I just text my mom and tell her to call 911 so they can dredge for my body?
Okay, but make it fast. If we don't seal the deal by midnight, it's another 7 years.
So, what do I do?
Climb up the railing and jump. Don't even think about it. Just do it.
Xander mounts a few steps and prepares to jump. Eric rushes in. From this point, the action is underscored by the last section of the Dutchman overture.
Xander, what are you doing?
Killing myself because you don't want me anymore.
You would kill yourself over me?
Not just
Just you? Also, so a ghost can rest in peace.
Xander, you moron, get down from there.
It's the finale from the Flying Dutchman, and I'm going to jump into the bay to save his soul.
You are beyond weird.
Not weird. Noble. Heroic. Self-sacrificing. Fuck, Mary.
Weird.
Okay, weird.
Okay, here goes. 5 minutes to midnight. 1, 2.
Hold up.
You just told me, do it. Don't think about it.
No, wait. Listen. The music is now in a major key. The rain stopped. The moon is out. Really bright tonight.
Oh, so does this mean...
Apparently it was enough you were truly willing to sacrifice yourself. I never understood that part of the story before.
I never understood any of this.
So, does that mean I don't have to jump into the harbor?
Good thing we found out in time.
Yeah, really.
Then I better text my mom again. She worries.
Now, listen to that music ebbing and swelling. Isn't it magnificent? The end of the opera. The curse is lifted. I'm dying. That Wagner takes forever, but man, could he write an ending?
So, you're really dying. Awesome. I never killed anybody before.
Trying to shake hands with the boys.
For a beginner, not bad. Thank you, both of you.
Oh, come on, bring it in. Sorry about all of that before.
Don't mention.
Eric, he's dying. Isn't it wonderful?
Weird.
Really classy
Really
lighting.
classy lighting, too.
Oh, no one does the tech like the Met. Oh, what an orchestra.
And here we are at St. George, right on time. So, boys, in the 2 minutes I have before the opera ends, do you two also want to make this a happy ending?
Eric,
Xander,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I never thought you'd come back for me.
I never thought you'd kill yourself for me.
How about I cancel Love OM next week and we just do Game of Thrones?
You'll love it. It makes sense. It makes less sense than the opera.
Xander and Eric embrace, then embark the ferry as the Dutchman blesses them.
Hey, guys! You can charge the pizza and beer to me. Aren't they cute? Nothing in common. Who knows how long it'll last, so Why are they getting together again? Don't ask. It makes no sense. It doesn't even matter. It's opera.
End of quote.
Very cute.
Okay, I think that what we'll do, Larry, is we'll discuss both of them.
Okay.
After we read this one.
All right.
Larry, we have
Your
another
answer's
play
right.
from Larry. And this one's titled Three Prayers Answered. And,
Wait, we expect you to speak up a little, I know it's hard when you're reading,
Sure.
because you can hardly hear.
Sure, thank you.
Oh, I thought it was just me. No.
Okay, so, Dan, will you come read Thaddeus Persack?